You know what else was crazy? You know, when Nebraska plays, you can't get a seat at Buffalo Wings and Rings. You can't get a seat.
Place was packed.
Place was packed. People wanted to watch that game. No, there's nobody.
Fingers.
There's nobody watching the game. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's my dream.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah.
It was empty.
Yeah. No, the place wasn't empty, but there was not a big crowd, and there was only probably 3 people watching the game, including me. So I'd be number 3.
You were locked in with your 5.
What I'm saying, and I've never said,
those were also bones, which are chicken nuggets, and that's what that is. So anyway, go ahead. We're off of that. Let's get back.
But I've shared this with Jake, but Bill's never heard it.
Okay.
This is like I'm sort of, this is a phenomenon that amazes me about Nebraska sports. The level of, what's the word I'm looking for, Jake? The level of non-caring, what's the better word for the apathy?
Apathy, sure. Yeah,
the level of apathy to me is incredible, and I think we've come just to accept it. How come we don't live in a world where, hey guys, we're going to get wings tonight? Oh God, it's a Nebraska basketball night. It's going to be tough. Instead, we live in this world where you pull up, there's plenty of parking. They're playing Northwest. They're playing a Big Ten game, and there's nobody's there watching. You know.
Well, Nebraska.
Why is that though?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know this.
Well, you know why it is, but why do we accept it like we do? That's the question.
It's probably a question. I give you a quick little story from a quote that was one of my favorite ones of all time, of why it's so important for Nebraska basketball to be good. Obviously, football we've talked about. What Amy's doing with the basketball team, what Mark's doing with the wrestling, all those things. Oh, by the way, Mark texted the other day, listened to the show.
He's a good
guy. Oh yeah. Also, he did an awesome job.
Mark Manning.
Oh, anyway, wow. Bear Bryant put it the best. Was that his favorite quote was, "It's really hard to rally a university around a math class." And so with that, like that, you want to rally. That's what rallies the university is success in your programs,
sure.
whether it be basketball, volleyball, whatever it is. That's what rallies state, and especially in this place, Nebraska, being the sole university that's handling everything, that's what rallies this state. I mean, I have friends in the furniture business. Nebraska wins sales Sunday way up, all those things. So to rally to be able to have a chance to have that energy and to be able to rally, all those sports are so important to us, not just football. So everyone's pulling for success. Everyone's pulling very hard for Fred to have success. And it won't take a lot, just a little bit of a tweet to kind of get things going.
I didn't see people pulling hard last night. I didn't. Well, it was apathy, what I saw last night. 56 years old. Okay, that's what I'm. I'm a young 56. Bill's an older 56.
Look at, just take a. He doesn't have a hat on. Look at him. Look at. I get my hair thinned. I get my hair. When I go in, I'm getting my hair cut today, and she'll be like, "Hey, you want to get thin? Thinning shears come out."
There's only
if you had thinning shears right now, you'd be bald.
Yeah. What?
And so would I. To be fair,
I would nothing left.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That's pretty good up there. Hey, 56. You're 31.
That's right.
There's only been a few years of my lifetime where you would have to worry about going into a sports bar and not getting a seat because Nebraska basketball was playing. Now, people are saying, yeah, no duh, Sip. Thanks. I turned on the show to hear this. Okay, what I'm getting at is why it's not okay. I don't want to pretend like it's okay.
But what can fans do? Just, they're not showing up to the...
It's not what fans can do. It's what the program can do.
Understood.
And the fans can demand more. I mean, they can demand more.
How? What do they do? How do you demand more? They want to win. Obviously, they want to win big, but they can't do anything about it. They can't demand Trev to fire somebody.
Coming at me about anything. I'm just telling you what the deal was. Okay, there was nobody in there watching. All right, there was 2 ladies at the bar that were clearly there to watch the game. 2, and then there was a table. Okay, there's 5 people because there was a dad and his young son that were clearly there to watch the game. I was clearly there to watch the game. 2 grandsons that could care less about the game. I mean, they wouldn't. You couldn't. I would have had to pay them to watch the game, and that's it. That was it. That was the people that are watching the game. Now, I say it's not okay. People can say it's okay. I say I'd rather live in a world where I drive up to a place and you got to worry about getting a seat because Nebraska's playing. And I bet it's that way in West Lafayette right now. Now they're number 1 in the country, Purdue.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But
If that was the case here, we'd have packed sports bars. You know,
Yeah, we
winning,
would.
Winning cures a lot, as Bill said. You know, winning fixes a lot of things.
yeah,
Everything.
it's just striking to me. It's very striking.
Someone says, I was at a bar last night in Lincoln that did not have the game on at all. A sports bar
That's
didn't
not-
have the game on TV. FS2
Trev Alberts,
last
you
night.
have Trev Alberts has to hear this. This is not what you want, but it's been this way for a long time. Did people pack the bars during the Miles era? Maybe, I don't know.
I think the 2013-14 season they did when Nebraska was
Right.
making a run to make it an 11 seed in the tournament. That's a huge win for us to be an 11 seed. Just make the dance.
No sit Sunday.
Yes.
No crap.
I'm sure
Sunday.
the bars were packed that day for those who could make the game.
I guarantee it.
They were.
Yeah.
I followed him very close that year. Obviously, I have a lot of friends who are good friends with Coach Miles, and I thought he did a tremendous job here. But I would also follow him very closely. I was at Wisconsin at that
Okay.
time, so
where
I
you
was so I was following the Big Ten. Obviously,
Mhm.
so I followed
Wisconsin,
Nebraska
yeah.
during that time, and we had a really good basketball team at that time. Actually, went to the championship
Finals,
game.
yeah.
went
Well,
to
they
the cha-
beat
Beat
Kentucky
Kentucky,
and then
yeah.
lost to Duke.
So
yeah.
so I followed basketball very closely at that, and I saw. I remember I know that Nebraska beat Wisconsin. I think it was a Sunday game.
Yeah, that's no sit Sunday. Yeah.
At that, and it was crazy. I remember watching the game, and it was a crazy game.
Hot.
I bet that. And so it was like just pulling for those guys so hard. So I'm friends with.
I know you're
with
friends
Coach
with
Over,
Fred. Yeah.
and just pulling for those guys so hard. They're up against some things. We all know where they are with injuries, with what's going on. The one thing that stood out to me was there's a time in the second half
Okay.
where that game could have easily been a 30-point loss, and
Fair.
it wasn't.
That's
and,
true.
And,
They
and all of a
scrapped
sudden
back.
it's down to 12,
Yep.
and
You're
there's
right.
5 minutes to go, and all of a sudden it's like things can still happen.
Tomanaga's
So, yeah.
3 rimmed out. It would have been 9.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been a 9-point
Right.
game.
You're right.
So you have
Hit
to
in and out.
give credit to what was going on, because it would have been easy when it get to 24. So about a lot of time to go. There was
It
well
was
over
like a
10 minutes.
26-point game.
Yeah, and so all of a sudden,
It was
like you
26.
said, the ball's halfway down to make it 9.
Yeah.
Well, you have to give the coaching staff, and you have to be able to give those young men credit
Sure.
for what they did and had to fight through. And remember, they're up against it with some injury. We talked about what is your perception, when you have injuries that come in. It was always, well, how does it look? There's a section didn't look great, but there's also was a lot of fight in them, which I thought was very.
There was a
very-
lot. For what that's worth, Bill.
And
I
they
mean,
still
this
lost
is
by
what we do
15,
now.
though.
This is what we do.
Mm.
Yeah, the guys played hard. They cut a 26-point deficit to 12. That's not going to draw people to the bars.
That's true.
It's not.
That's true.
I mean, I'm with you,
Yeah.
and I appreciate the positive sentiment, and I felt that sentiment when I was watching. Now these guys keep playing. And if Tominaga hits that shot, and I think there was 3 minutes or so.
3 to 4 minutes left of that.
Tominaga hits that shot, and it's a 9-point
and that
game.
was in the hoop.
It
was
was.
all the way down and spit out.
Right.